Aya and UC in the place to be. We're my convo queens from the front to the back. You know what I mean? Hey, convo queens, how you doing today? What we talking about today, Aya?
Hey, you guys. So today, and excuse me while I can say I am calmed down today because I had went out of town for my 4th of July weekend. And I was just getting back in today in those doors. So I am looking raggedy and torn down. But I am here and alive. Today, we are talking about not being afraid to lose him, okay? Or
Mm.
if you are a she, not being afraid to lose her, but whoever your partner is, don't be
Mm-hmm.
afraid to lose them if they are not meeting up to your expectations or those standards that you told us. Remember the discussion that we had? You told me what your standards was, and now you're with someone who ain't meeting those standards at all. That means you need to, let them go. Because
Mm-hmm.
contrary to the song, a piece of a man is not good enough, okay? So that's
Mm-mm.
what we're discussing today.
Yes. So I'm gonna say a quote. Just because you miss someone doesn't mean you need them back in your life. Missing is just part of moving on. Macklemore. Okay, so I know one of the things that when we're talking about don't be afraid to lose him is we got to start with talking about standards. What are your standards as a woman? Do you have any? Do you go for anything? Or do you have a set of rules that you truly believe that you need someone to meet for you to have a fulfilling relationship for yourself? And do you make people honor those standards or do you fall in love and then anything goes? I can speak for myself. I think that, you know, being a woman of substance or having standards these days is really hard. It's hard because there are so many other women who don't have the same standards. So
Mhm.
we find ourselves in a situation where, you're trying to hold this guy to these high standards that you have. And so you cut him off, thinking that if he really likes me that much, he's going to meet these things that I have put on the table and require. But sometimes what happens is that he goes away and somebody else will give him all the things that you won't. Or they'll have very low standards and accept anything. And it leaves you sitting there wondering what happened. So I find that some women decide that they're just going to not have any standards at all. Or I'm not going to say not have any standards, but really relax them so that they can maintain a relationship that is not serving them. So, what do you think about that, Aya?
Mm. Yeah, I mean, that part, I think that women we're just so hard on ourselves, right? And so not only are we hard on ourselves, I feel like, and I know we'll have to do this, could lead into a whole different discussion because I know sometimes I say it periodically every so often when I get triggered, a water sign. um but sometimes we are so male identified, and what being male identified to me means is just like we do things for, like, again, their validation and to put on for other women, because sometimes it's not even about the piece of the man that you got at home that you're not even happy with. It's about others and what they're going to say if they see that, oh, that didn't work out, oh, they not doing well, oh, they
Mhm.
unhappy, oh, look at her. So you put on this face and this front as if things is all good when it isn't. That's why they always say, yeah, you can't believe everything you post on Facebook. You can't believe everything you post on Facebook or social media or anything because people put on a lot. We lie to ourselves to make something fit. We will tell a lie to make a puzzle piece fit into a situation that it isn't meant to fit in. And we do the same thing when it comes to men. And I think that is why we slack off on our standards, because we want it so badly. And it's like the show of it. And we
Mhm.
want people to say, look at me, girl, I'm happy. Look at, they want what we got. And no, nobody want that shit. If they knew the truth, don't nobody, if they knew what you was putting up with, if they knew what you was tolerating, if they knew the standards that you told us you had, but you clearly don't have them because you have sat there and put up with all types of behavior that is disrespectful to you, nobody would want it. So what are we holding on to? An image while being unhappy and really in real life? I don't know. That's what I think.
That's really deep because when I think about a lot of the times, you'll require whatever your requirements can be. I'm gonna just throw out some that I think that I've heard.
Hmm.
Okay, very basic ones. You require a man to have a job, or at least be working towards one, trying. You know, you expect the man to treat you with respect. You expect the man to honor you as a woman and honor your body and your health. You want that. You want the man in your life to, if you have children, treat your children well, or if they're his children, of course, be in their lives and do what they're supposed to do for them. You want a man that talks to you in a kind way, and as well as you got to be doing the same. You want a man who's not scared to answer those hard questions, and vice versa. I'm just throwing out some standards, but my thing is that when he is not meeting up to those expectations, then what do you do? What do you do? Okay, you all in love now. You're in love. And he's not meeting those standards. Then where's your head at then? Are you the type of person who like, listen, if you're not able to, you know, be exclusive with me, then you
Right.
can go. Straight like that. You can go. I'm I'm not gonna sit here and be in a competition with other women that I don't even know about. I'm not gonna sit here and take disrespect. I'm not
Mm.
gonna sit here and just have a piece of you and be on your time schedule when you want to be bothered. Like, are you okay with just saying, you know what? I have this person, but I'm still unhappy. Like, I'm even more unhappy with this person because I'm in constant turmoil within my heart and my mind and my spirit because I want all of these things that this person refuses to provide.
Right. Right. And that's what I also don't get. It's like, okay, you are with, like, first of all, not only are you settling for a piece of, and that doesn't even have to necessarily mean that he's going outside of your relationship or he's cheating on you, etc. It's that you have, and well be it, I will say, sometimes we do have these unrealistic expectations of what we want on our list. Oh, you want a knight in shining armor and he need to be making 500K, but he live in Syracuse, New York. So sometimes we do have unrealistic expectations, right? But I'm talking about
Right.
expectations that are within our grasp. So you have, and those are pretty basic. Like you said, like, you gotta have a job, be working, do something with yourself, be motivated. I want him to treat me good. I want him to be respectful. I want him to make me laugh. Like, we be having those really basic, like, there's no way you can't live up to these things or meet these things, right? And then when they are not meeting up to your expectations, or those things that you have that are achievable for him to meet, right? You are now dealing with a piece of, instead of a whole person. It's like, why are you settling for a piece of something instead of just, obviously, the obvious thing to do is to go out there and find somebody who can.
Mm-hmm. Free yourself up. Free yourself up because you can never be fulfilled by anyone if you're going to continue to be breadcrumb strung along and waiting on this person to change instead of accepting them for who they are and what they are showing you.
Exactly. And yeah, that was my point because I lost my point during that saying that. So it's like you'll settle for this piece of, and then what happens is because you still have your list in the back of your mind, but oh, I love him and he's who I'm with, but you are building up resentment. And in all honesty, that's unfair to that person because okay, he might be your piece of, but you can free yourself and free him up. He can go somewhere else, you can go somewhere else, and y'all might possibly find the person that y'all are meshed well, equally yoked with. But instead, you're holding on to somebody all while building up resentments and regrets and hatred towards this person that you call yourself loving, laying up with, fighting over. It's a
And
contradiction.
mhm, it is a contradiction. And what I was going to say is that, Convo Queens, we have these tough conversations, right? Because the point of this podcast is to talk about stuff as Black women that we need to be discussing. And this is one of those topics that we don't discuss. You know, this topic wasn't chose because, we're being judgmental or we're trying to pick at something. It's a real needed topic, especially for women who are out here who are trying to date, but they're dating with a purpose because they want a boyfriend or a husband or they want courtship, and they're being met with these men who want to just be friends with benefits. And that's a whole nother no, it's not. I'm gonna talk about that topic right now.
Mm,
That that whole dynamic, um most of the time is not very beneficial to women. That
no,
friends
it's
with benefits situation is not beneficial for women. And usually when you tell men that, because I'm the type of person, I'll let them know. A friends with benefit situation doesn't benefit me. Like that benefits you, and I'm not gonna get what I want out of that. And they're like, "Well, what is it that you want?" And I was like, if your intimate organ is all you got to offer me, like that's too easy to get. Like really, you really can get that. You can get that easily. Most women, I mean, if you really wanted to find somebody to lay up with, that's the easy part. The hard part is to find somebody who you are compatible with and have a real connection with and actually have something real that can develop into something more. And for me, yes, some friends with benefit situations can move over to the other side, but a lot of times somebody catches feelings in that situation and then it goes left. That's what I
mm,
see most of the time. And then they're trying to figure out a million different ways of how to convert this friends with benefit situation into a
a
relationship, and it's not going to
relationship.
happen.
Right, right.
And I just think that, you know, since we're talking about don't be afraid to lose him, that friends with benefit situation is also another one where you have developed quote unquote a friendship, right? But let's be honest, once you start adding in sexual relations, it really does change the dynamic of a relationship. It's hard to have a really good I mean, I'm sure maybe some people achieve this, but usually in most cases it is hard to have that. It's hard to maintain that friendship, especially if one person catches feelings and the other person is just using that one person as a placeholder until they find who they really want to be with. And it's very hurtful. And a lot of times in those dynamics, the the guys want, you to do all this girlfriend behavior, cook for
Mm,
him, of course have intimacy, do all these things. And a lot of times he don't want to take you nowhere, because I hear a lot of men like, well, you women have it easy because we got to go on dates, and 9 times out of 10 y'all never want to go Dutch, and we got to pay for everything, and we don't listen. taking somebody on one little date, and then after that date, you just expect this friends with benefits situation to turn into, okay, just meet me on the couch and Netflix and chill for the next
Right.
whenever until you find who you really want to talk to. It's not something that's beneficial to you, convo queens. Like, if you really look at it, I mean, some women will be like, oh, I'm fine with it, it's good for me. But how long is that really going to be good for you? Mm-mm.
Not only that,
I,
but have you ever overstayed your welcome with somebody? Be it, you talk, you feel like, you know what, I've been talking to this person for longer than I should have, and you regret it. Or you overstayed a relationship that you knew you should have left, and now you regret it because now, of course, you feel like I wasted my time. I sat there and played my own self and wasted my time because I knew 6 months ago, I knew last year, I knew when we first met. You see the red flags, and we try so diligently. We work overtime to try to turn those flags into white flags just to fit our narrative because we need him to fit in the picture. Instead of, you know what, I always admire about guys though. And I can't fault them for having logic because they have more logic than we do. And I always said that men have way more logic than women. They do. Because it's very clear to them. It's very cut and dry. It's very black and white. So that's probably why it comes off so cold when they do certain moves or they make their moves. Because if you see done went over here and did XYZ to her, me and Kyle, and he found out about it, or he like, you know what, you ain't doing it for me no more. I am very unhappy. It ain't no problem for Kyle to switch her the hell out. Boom, like that, gone. Yeah, cut. You did not make my lineup. You are off the list. You did not get recruited. You are not the superstar. Okay, you do not get the pro football ring. You out of there. It's real
mm-hmm.
simple for them. It's so hard for us, and I think that is all due to meeting or trying to live up to these unrealistic standards and guidelines of society and the patriarchy, and putting on for other women so that they can hate what we got, which is the silliest thing, right? But we do it to compete. It's all about competing for who? For the penis people. And if penis people is watching, I don't care if y'all don't like me calling you.
Well, I would say that yes, you're right. Like at the end of the day, it's like you will get cut with very quickly from a man. Like if you do, oh, she do this, oh, her mouth, she gone. Or you're sitting there thinking y'all moving, making some progress, and the next thing you know, he telling you he got somebody else,
Oh yes, he
and
done
you,
already.
yeah, and you like, well, what about when you was at my house the other day? And I was like, I was never with you. We was not together.
Exactly.
Okay. So I never promised you that I was gonna be exclusive. I ain't never promised you. And you're right, men will let you know that. Or they will, and a lot, there are some who will play games, just as there's women who will play games, okay, for if the men that's watching, if it's some men watching. Women can play games too, but right now we talking with Convo Queens and we talking to our sister girls out there. And I'm just gonna say that if it's in your face, believe it. We gotta stop overlooking the red flags and not listening to what people tell us.
Right.
Cause a lot of time you were told from day one exactly what they was gonna do. Even if it switched up. You knew when this person was backtracking or backsliding from whatever they told you. So it's like at this point, what do? You gonna chase somebody who you'll never catch? You gonna keep letting them come back? Okay, because I didn't address that. Yes. I think a lot of us can say that we've stayed with somebody longer than we should have, gave them way more tries than we should have, or even somebody who wasn't that deep into, kept trying to give them the benefit of the doubt and chances
Mhm.
when you knew that they were not coming correct from the very beginning. Once the red flag started popping up, you started saying, "Oh, you know, let's he won't let me look at his social media. And I know this is probably a millennial and down thing, like the social media thing, right? But I definitely think that in today's day and age, hiding whoever you dealing with off of social media, it could be a protective mechanism for some people, or people will say, oh, I don't want people to be in my business or this and that. But a lot of people will do that because they don't want you to know, they don't want the world to know about you. There's some people who will do that. Some people, they do it for privacy. Some people don't engage in social media, and I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the people who are on social media, but they refuse to acknowledge that they boo.
Right. They obviously got something to hide. They don't want those other ones to pop out the woodwork and be like, "Oh, really? Where?" It's like that. You know them subliminals people post. Oh, where? I see you. Oh, that's your girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Or you never met their friends. You don't know who they be around. You don't know nobody in their family. Those are red flags.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody is really trying to share their life with you, you're gonna know things about them deeper than, oh, they just pull up at my house. You know, I just think that that's a problem. I don't know. That's a problem. Get to know these people who you're dealing with too, right? And stop ignoring stuff. And then, later on, I'm going to say a lot of people are like, oh, well, I was just so blinded by love. I can't afford to do that these days.
We definitely can't, child. Love ain't got nothing to do with it, like Tina said. Like after a while, I be over it. No,
Mm-hmm.
it's only so much misery a person can put themselves through. That's exhausting to just be unhappy or not, that unfulfilling feeling, like feeling that you're not fulfilled fully. And your fulfillment isn't from outside sources or your own self, but like within your partnership or your relationship you're trying to build or create, it's just this unfulfilling feeling that you have. And we just talking from experience, because I know I have experienced all of these things. Anything that we talk about, I have went through the fire and back and experienced those things. And I have definitely overstayed relationships, and I already know it's a level of comfort that's there. They know you. And it's like, oh, you have someone to talk to though. And oh, they know, like maybe during, intimacy, they know my body. I don't have to, because they know everything already. And then like it's the dread of having to rebuild all of that stuff, and you just not having the energy to go out there and meet new people and talk. Child, F all that, screw all that, because life is too short to be miserable with somebody when you could find happiness on the other side of the street. So, and
Right.
and who am I putting out for? Like, listen, if this shit fell, if me and my boyfriend fell tomorrow, child, okay, I will go find another one. Like, listen, why is that a knock? Why is that
Mm-mm.
a knock though to us when if we fell in a relationship, it's a knock. If a guy
Mm.
says I'm single, oh, he eligible. Oh, what she done did? What happened? Oh, let me come over here. Let me lick your wound. Like, you know what I'm saying? But when we say we single again, oh, it didn't work out. Oh, I wonder what she did. I wonder.
Why?
Like, child.
Mm-hmm. Why are you single? What's wrong with you? Like, I've definitely had that reaction. Like, wow, why are you single? And it's like, you know what? Sometimes your peace is more valuable.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell me you at peace when you sitting here dealing with an inconsistent man and you waiting for him to call you or show up and he keep lying. You can't tell me you at peace when you know this man who you loving and letting have you, enjoy your indulging your body and vice versa is out here sleeping with other people behind your back. You can't tell me you got peace when you sleep at night when you're dealing with that situation. You can't tell me you at peace when you got somebody abusing you in some sort of way. You can't tell me you have peace in those situations. And my thing is, stress kills. And sometimes there is situations where it don't matter what everybody got to say. It don't matter if you know what's best for your life. Like I said, life is short. This is saying that we hear all the time because it's true. It's true that life is short and that you need to do the best you can to find peace and happiness while you're here. And yes, we just sent out the link that if anybody would like to join this discussion and, make any pointers or, just contribute to this discussion, because we're saying these things because we want to, encourage somebody who may be in a situation and know that you can and you will be fine if you decide that this person's actions and the way that they treat you is no longer serving you. And
Mm-hmm.
the happy unhappiness is so unbearable that you just thinking like, oh, nobody else will ever want me. You really start to think like that, especially when you've been with somebody so long and who knows what the conversation has been. Nobody else will ever want me. I can't fend financially on my own. Or, well, why should I trade him? And because all of these people, all these men are the same. So why am I trade this one in for the devil I know for the new one? And it's like, we got to have a more positive mindset.
Right, it's so
And
many factors. That's a word right there because there's so many factors that go into it, like how we play, how a person can psych themselves out, or we psych ourselves out, and so it's like you convince yourself that it's better to stay than to, I don't want to, or the not wanting to be alone. That will keep you in a child. Not the not
ooh,
wanting to be alone will keep you definitely in situations longer than you should stay.
loneliness is something real. Loneliness got to have people doing some strange things, okay? Um but I don't encourage anybody just to be with anybody just to cure their loneliness
Mm,
or to continue to indulge in toxic situations just cuz you don't want to be alone. And we say that, but man, I just as well as I do. We know so many people,
mhm.
as well as probably different points in our lives, that have been there and are still there. And there's nothing no one can say to you. This has to be a confidence within yourself to know what to put up with and what not to put up with. And I think that especially when you've been in relationships and like you get a little bit older, your tolerance level for BS is much lower.
Right.
I think some of us, the tolerance level is much lower. I know some of our older women counterparts, we're just used to dealing with a lot of things, that they had to deal with because of the times during that time. But these modern day women that, are taking care of themselves and stuff like that, I think the biggest threat with maintaining their standards is the loneliness factor.
Yeah, that's what I see. It's the loneliness factor. It's the wanting or needing somebody to fulfill you, and can't nobody fulfill you for one. Like that's a personal quest. Your quest of happiness or fulfillment is your own. But it's that loneliness factor. Like we all been there before. Yes, sometimes you don't want to sit there and be bored and be in the house alone, and you're gonna feel lonely. Like it's a word. You're gonna feel lonely at times.
Yeah.
But if you can't enjoy your own self or your own company, if you always need that person,
Mm.
it's like getting doses of dopamine all the time. You always need that constant fix or someone to adore you or tell you these things. Like the necessary, that's you problem. And that would also tie into being why our standards are not where they should be up to par. The bar is in the ground as far as the men are concerned, because we make the bar for one. That's one thing. My because me and my boyfriend, we talk about this sometimes, if a topic we see come up or whatever, right? And him like, y'all set the bar. And we set the bar. When it comes to guys, we set the bar. Just like they have a bar for us. And like I said, if they feel that you no longer making the cut, they will leave. They will dip out, or they will just waste, they will seriously sit there and waste your time until you get the picture. and be like, oh, or you may never get the picture, and maybe he's just a despicable person. Well, he'll sit there and waste your time for some years, child. All while he across the way, around the corner, down the street, doing everything else in the world,
Still
wasting your.
looking for
But we
still
set
looking for his real one. Still looking for his real one. You just a placeholder.
right a placeholder, and that's why you wonder why. Oh, he just moved down so quick. He moved down so quick because he been gone. You just the placeholder. As soon as he finds something better, he's going to dip out. We set the bar. We set these standards that we say we have, and then we don't have them. And I've seen a post. I'm gonna share it right now because this is coming from a guy. They know us so well. So what did he say? Bad choices and men come in all shades. Black men have their problems and issues, but y'all excuse our issues versus setting boundaries. This list is boundaries, and I'm glad y'all starting to get it. I copied and pasted. I copied this like a long time ago. So, but I think the girl was because the post went viral. People, the boys were upset. Okay, the girls, as I say, they were upset and irate on the post because she wrote this post about the standards that women should have, but they don't, and it was a list of things that guys must meet at a certain age. And it wasn't about money or anything. It was just saying, if he don't got his credit together by 30, maybe that should be a red flag. If he's not responsible with his money, maybe that should be a red flag. If he doesn't have a job or he in between jobs all the time, maybe that should, if she was just listing all of these things that, okay, maybe that might not be a good choice in a person for you, especially at the age of life that this person is at. Oh, they were so upset. But even he's admitting, like, yeah, they know. They know. They see us from the door. That will say this, that, and the thing, and everything else out of our mouths, but then it's the complete opposite.
That's right. And a lot of times I feel like some will actually test your boundaries, test your standards to see if you really have those standards, to see if you really are going to stick to what you say, or can they still jump and still slide across the fence or build a tunnel and still get what they want out of you, and you keep breaching your standards and boundaries every time. And honestly, if you are allowing someone to continuously breach your standards and and overstep your boundaries, then I don't think those are your standards and your boundaries for real.
You have none. It's hard. See, it's hard for us to admit these things because we don't look ourselves in the mirror and admit it. And we're definitely not going to discuss with our friends. I'm not going to call you see and say, you know what, dang, I'm not going to lie. I'm very insecure about myself and I have low standards and I do that. Like, I'm not just going to call, you're not calling nobody telling them this. It's something that you keep inside, you keep to yourself because it comes from a place of shame. It shouldn't. We all go through things. It comes from a place of shame that, you know what, I'm disrespecting myself because I have no standards. Don't nobody want to hear that they don't have standards, but it can't possibly be the truth when we see certain people and we see what they're going through and we see the type of stuff they're putting up with. I can't possibly look at you and say that you have any. When I was going through what I was going through with certain people, you can't listen. I don't even think you know, right? I remember I was dating somebody that was like, I don't want to say he was homeless, but I think he was homeless. He didn't have no home. Okay. The boy didn't have a home. Okay. Like, so he would call me up like, oh, leave the door unlocked because I need to come on. Like, I knew you don't have to tell me out your mouth verbally that you ain't got no home, but you were just out here roaming the streets. Why was I talking to that person? Not in a million years now could I meet a guy and I'd be like, we getting to know each other and I get the inkling. Wait a minute. I think this he ain't got no place. I'm not talking to. Where was my standard? Where were they? They were nowhere. They were nowhere because I just wanted what I wanted at the time. So, like, you have to start admitting these things to yourself. The shit that we done sat back and tolerated, and it's okay. Like, listen, do better. It's okay, but that's your story. That's part of your story. That is part of your history or whatever happened to you. But it's okay. But do better. Don't do the same mistake. Do better.
Do better. For real. You can't continuously keep trying to, pacify, oh, well, he's this or he's that. Listen, a lot of times, very quickly, if you really listen and you really watch what somebody do, you're gonna kind of see. You
Mm,
know, of course, we know a lot of people will bring out their representative at first, right? Tell you a bunch of stuff you want to hear. Narcissists do it a lot. Love bomb you, like tell you everything you want to hear. And I don't know if you all have read up on the love languages, but if your love language is the words of affirmation, you are a very easy target for a narcissist because you know your love language is going to be what somebody's telling you. Oh, you're
mm,
so beautiful, or you're kind. Oh, I love you. You know what I'm saying? You do everything so, and you just be sitting there like on cloud nine. But if you open your eyes and look at what they really doing, it just don't match. It doesn't match. Like,
right.
you know, and I would say that we have all, definitely lowered the standard bar just to have somebody for a minute. You know, but I would say that once you realize how much turmoil that leaves you in, and you get to a certain age, you be like,
Mm-hmm.
I know I am. I'm gonna speak for myself. I would just be like, if you're gonna be sitting up here arising certain feelings out of me, I gotta let you go. Cause I'm not doing that. Not at this age, not after all the things that I've been through and the experiences I have had. What you try to do is learn from those. Not everybody is capable, but I have chosen to try to learn. It does not mean you won't make mistakes. It does not mean that your standards may not be breached or your boundaries might be crossed. But once you realize that somebody doing that, reel that pole back in, okay? Be like, oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm
Right.
not being true to myself. I'm not loving myself. Because you got to love yourself before you can love or even really be right to anyone else. Because if you don't care about yourself, how can you really care about anybody else? Like, I mean, people say that all the time. Oh, I just do everything for other people. Yeah, you do. But, that's one thing. But just like kind of just willy nilly, just dealing with people and never holding them to the flame is not okay. I would say for me, like, I definitely have, I think it happens to me when I find myself in vulnerable situations. Um, that, I have had people take advantage of those situations in my life. Men that I have, I think of a couple in particular that took advantage of that, and a lot of times when you going through things and you in vulnerable situations, you really be wanting somebody here to ride through you with the mess, like you want somebody to talk to, you want somebody to vent to, you want somebody's shoulder to cry on to help you get through this. You want somebody to help you get through it. And so a lot of times it leaves you vulnerable to those people who prey on that vulnerability. They're like, "Oh yeah, this is my opening. I'm gonna come and sweep this person off their feet," and but it's usually only temporary.
Mm,
Hmm.
if it's one thing they know how to do is that they see that you need saving. Oh, she need a knight in shining armor. Whenever I see people, like I had this one friend, and she was just like, he is like everything I asked for, and he is just this and that. And I was just thinking, like, because at the time she had just like it was fresh. You just got out of this really horrible situation, and then ironically, here he come riding on his horse, and he is just he just meet check all of your boxes. He do everything you want him to do, and I'm just like telling her
Mm-mm.
you should probably be careful because that sounds awfully familiar to what they do. they'll they'll present you with one person, their representative, and then as soon as you start falling for their representative, they usher in the real person. And then
Mm-hmm.
now by that time they got you because they know how to play with our feelings and our emotions because we are more emotional than they are, and they use that to their advantage. That's why I said they're more logical. But all I can say is, like what you were saying, self love is so important and vital for people to have. And I think when you hear people say, "Do you love yourself or do you have self love?" You think that's a crazy question to ask. Like, of course I love of course I do. But it's like when you think about it, certain things that we've put up with over the years or may have tolerated or still going through when it comes to certain people in general, people and boundaries and that's the standards that we have with ourselves. We can't possibly have that self-love for ourselves because you protecting yourself is what's most important above all else. And you can't be so thirsty for love. Like I posted in my
Mm-mm.
stories like that. And sometimes he be right though. So it was a good one. So I posted this little clip of Dr. Umar talking, and he was talking about that. He was like, yeah, you can't possibly, when you're out there so thirsty for love that you want it so bad, I just want to find somebody to love me.
Mm-hmm.
You are going to be like a moth to their mother freaking flame, and they're going to smell you coming. That is vulnerability. They know that you are vulnerable and susceptible for anything that they're going to present to you because that's how bad you want it. You have to fulfill yourself and be that for yourself, because once you're not thirsty for it, like I'm not out here in a rush for love. If I find it, it's good. If I don't, you know what I'm saying? But when you out there, oh, when I see people posting every day on Facebook and they be like, oh, I just can't, oh, I need somebody. Where's all the, like, child? You ain't never, that's why they say, when you stop looking, that's when you're gonna find somebody. When you stop searching, that's when you're gonna find somebody. When Sierra finally told people her prayer, that's her prayer. That's her prayer. But when she finally told y'all the recipe, she said, I worked on myself. Like I worked on myself, because that's the missing piece that we're not getting. Like, you work on yourself, you build that self-worth and self-love up first for yourself. You develop that, so when you're going out here, you're not susceptible to accept any offer that's thrown on your table. Like, oh, here he comes, oh, here go one, let me take him. Like, hold up, back up, hold on, do your evaluations, run down your checklist, fill him out for a little. Don't just hop on the first thing smoking.
Mm-mm. Ooh, that was some real shit. Ooh, excuse me. Some real stuff right there, Aya, because you're gonna get so many. I'm gonna talk about myself. I have had offers, but they
Hmm.
were not good offers. Don't jump on the first offers. A lot of them offers come, sometimes women they get offers with men that are coming with trying to put them in situationships.
Hmm.
Okay. There's people coming with offers when you, like you said, ain't got no, they don't have nowhere to live, bad credit, all this stuff. They come and looking for you to be their meal ticket, or maybe their
You gonna build.
placeholder till they get to where they need to go, then they gone. Like you got to really be careful and and look at yourself like they are lucky to have you too. Okay? Not just that, oh, I finally got somebody. And yes, it does drive me crazy when people sit up there and write on social media, oh my gosh, I just want a man. Where are all the good men at? There's no one out here. I love, oh man, you look desperate. I'm gonna just call it what it is. You
Yeah, it's
look
like you
desperate.
and you are letting them know. Oh, she the one. Yep, I know I could hop and hurt him. You are just setting yourself up. You just putting, like, you like pray. I mean, not pray. You like bait to them when you post those things and they see the desperation. Oh, okay. I know I could just talk to her and she gonna be receptive to what I'm saying, because
Yeah,
that's
or like,
even guys that do that. That's what all they post is about.
just
He gonna
one.
accept any
Listen.
any female that come his way and pay him some mind
Mm.
because they
Well,
bored
I
him.
well I know. Well, I know that it is also like, when you a lot of guys know, especially if you were known to be in a long relationship. And then word on the street is
Mhm.
that now you are free to roam around,
Mhm.
right? You're gonna get all types of characters shooting their shot, right? And I some guys walk out here like they're just so suave and they feel they could just pull any woman they want. So they're a little bit shocked when they come to a woman who's not impressed by all of that. And is like, listen, I want A, B, C, and D. Reasonable standards, though. I'm looking for this type of relationship. I want someone to do this or that and a third. And even still, when you say that, they'll still test the waters to see if you really have standards or you just playing a little hard to get and then all the walls will be dropped in a week or two. You know, I just think that when we talk about this statement, when we're talking about standards, we're talking about when you begin in a relationship. And then we're also talking about once you've got in a relationship and you can still have standards that you require even if you've been with this person for 3 or 4 years. If they are all of a sudden not wanting to meet your expectations and what you want in a mate, don't be afraid to let him go.
Yes. Yes, please do. And I know it's hard. It's hard to let people go. And I think that's what get us too, because we are more gentler people and like we just it's that
Mm-hmm.
guilt, it's that guilt, it's that guilt for choosing yourself. We put
Mm-hmm.
guys at a way higher stock than we put ourselves. And I know it's because society is a man's world, like James Brown said. It's always going to be, they just made decisions on our mother freaking reproductive system, okay?
And I always come back when somebody say that, but it would be nothing without a woman or a girl.
It
Okay.
wouldn't be. It should be it should be ran by women, truth be told. But it's always a strong woman behind a guy making decisions, really doing the power play. You
Yep.
know,
Yep.
I tell you, I think it's so upset. But you know, in the womb, you was all first female first before you was ever decided before it was decided by nature that oh, you know what, they'll be a male. And just saying, you can Google it, but
It's a fact.
allegedly, yeah, it's a fact. Allegedly, the male is the weaker of the two sexes. Like, oh, you didn't cut it as a woman, so I'm just gonna make you a man. I'm just saying. I don't not know.
Ooh,
No,
I
but
get on
allegedly,
fighting
y'all
words.
are the weaker version. But anyways, I digress on that.
Ooh,
Yeah, we
child,
hold
it's
them
getting
up to.
hot.
It's too much stock that we hold them up to. It's like what do they male worship? We hold them up. We hold them at a higher value than we place ourselves. And I think that's what gets a lot of women as well, because it's like you're not validated as a woman if you're not desired by a man, if you don't have one, if you if you're not a hot ticket to get one, you don't got people call, you don't have gentlemen callers, you're just not a hot ticket. And then they'll go on, especially if you're online, an online person, or you'll see it online and stuff. It's like if you single and you could be single free and happy, stress free, at peace, and they know that, they'll be like, that's why you're single now. I can see why you say. And it'll be women that say that too. I know, I could tell you ain't married. Oh, the women like to use
Mm.
using the M word. I know you not married. I
Ooh,
can tell you. Oh yeah,
child.
ain't nobody trying to wife you. Like, listen, y'all want us to infight with each other, which we do. We fell for it. We sip the Kool Aid. So we already are combative with each other due to competition for y'all. And then they will make it seem like, oh, you're single. That equals your misery and your downfall. You're just going to be miserable and die with a bunch of cats because you're single. But like you were saying, it benefits them more. These situationships, these, boo things, friends with benefits, even marriage benefits a man way more than it will ever benefit a woman. It does. They need someone like you to cook, to clean, to nurture, to sit there and rub their back and, rub their head and give them some love and stuff. And they give you very little in return for your services that you are doing. And so when it's not even benefiting you to the point where you're not even getting nothing out the deal, what
Mm.
is there? Why is you still staying there?
Why is you still seeing, especially if men want to be a protector and provider. And say for whatever reason they can't do that. He ain't protecting, he ain't providing, he not doing nothing for you. He not even giving you no love. He's not being affectionate. He's actually treating you like the gum on his shoe that he stepped in and somebody nasty spit was in it or it's some dog poop. And you still there.
Where's the benefit?
Why?
Yes,
Why?
why? At this point, you're not even getting anything out the deal.
Why? Well, listen, we're not here to go on a crusade to leave him, girl. You better leave.
Try
We're
and leave
trying
him.
to say, I'm
Leave
going to
him.
say this.
You didn't see. Wait, let me show you our cover picture because I don't think you've seen the cover picture.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
let me share this screen. Oh, let me see. What is it on?
Well, while she doing that, I'm going to
Oh, yes,
say,
guys. Wait, I got it. And we have a Facebook page. This is our Facebook page, Conversation for Black Women.
yes.
And this is our cover. Don't be afraid to lose him. Look at Rashida and Kirk is a perfect example. She should have left him
Mm.
10 years ago. 10. College
Ooh, he be cutting up. That one cuts up. You hear me?
T.I.
He
and
cuts
Tiny.
up. Cut up.
Cause I was like, what am I gonna put on this cover? It's called "Don't Be Afraid to Lose." Don't be. Let me put these two fools, cause I just see clown face. They should just paint a
Oh
clown
my
face.
gosh.
Girl, I don't want that Rashida and Kirk look at
Listen,
all. I don't want it.
sometimes you'll see these relationships and we've been together forever, and it's like, but I don't want what you have. You're miserable. You guys don't even like each other. You know, you probably should have parted ways a long time ago. You made a choice to stay, but you're not happy. And what I have realized, and this is probably a whole nother podcast that we might have to do, is that when you do have enough of guts to leave a bad situation, people who are still in their situation become like these big haters. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, they're like they become all nosy, and all of a sudden you must not know how to run your own life because
Yes, because they
because
miserable and you escaped, and they miserable.
I'm just saying,
Girl.
as a divorcee, I have experienced that, like, this different looks, this and the third. And then I was like, you know what? I see why when people are single, they have single friends. Because a lot of the time, I think that some people, especially if they're not in a happy relationship, they become jealous of your freedom.
Right.
But you may not even be happy single, but for some reason, there's still hope for your happiness. And theirs is no longer
Child, they
hopeful,
done. They
you
yeah, they
know?
done. I don't know why. I don't know why anyone would choose to stay in just unhappy situations or
Mm.
like, if it's no longer serving you, then it's no longer serving you, and that's fine. You are free to leave. Like you are free to say, you know what?
Whew.
I think I'm gonna, this isn't working for me anymore. You're free to do that. I said it's just the guilt thing. I think, especially with women, it's just we feel so guilty. Oh, I'm gonna hurt him. I'm gonna feel so bad if I do that. I don't listen. Be as unapologetic as they cheating. Like be as unapologetic as they can be.
I
And
just think
fighting,
some women just sit there though and they know what's going on and they just sit there and take a blind eye and then you have these men who will run around with this narrative like, see, you was worried about somebody cheating on you. You worried about the wrong thing. She not stupid for staying. She's smart. You the one who ain't got no man.
oh,
You the one who ain't got no man because you was worried about the wrong thing. You shouldn't worry about that cheating stuff. He was you.
why should
Them
I?
just
Okay,
I'm just saying, I have heard that narrative. Oh, you the one who don't got nobody. And it's like, I don't want you though. Look how you disrespecting this woman who you claim to love. I don't want that situation you got going. If that's how it has to be, I'd rather be peacefully single.
right.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't know how they do it either. They just sit there because I mean, to me, it would have to play on your mental well being because I'm just gonna think like, what's wrong with me? I mean, that's a natural thing I'm gonna think as a woman. Like, why? I mean, yes, now I know that some guys that they just can't help to cheat. They shouldn't be with anybody if you can't not cheat, especially if y'all not in a poly open situation.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't cheat, can't not cheat, then you don't need to be with a person.
At all.
But I'm gonna think, what's wrong with me? So I can't imagine how that plays on somebody who's constantly getting disrespected and cheated on all the time, all the time, all the time. Like, what's wrong with me? Why am I not good enough for you? Why do you need to seek outside sources? And then another thing with people, right? And females can do this too, although, statistically, we're not the cheaters. We cheat, everyone cheats, but statistics show that we more than likely don't cheat. We'll sit there and be miserable over cheating. But what I want to know is, why be with somebody that isn't made for you? If you're out here always seeking somebody else other than me that you have at home or that you're supposed to be in a relationship with, why not just be with the one you really want?
I don't know. They'll use lines like, "Oh, tell certain women like, oh, I wish I would have met you before so and so." Don't believe that, ladies. If he told you that, be ass meter. Mm-mm.
And that is true about guys. Like, guys will, I don't know, they'll get with what they deem as, okay, you know what, this is socially acceptable, or I'm just gonna get with this person for the look, or we will make a good, they be thinking of those things. We'll make a good partnership. We'll make a good couple. So I'm gonna be with her. But really, this is what you really like over here. Go be with what you really like, because it's far too many of men who are in relationships who do cheat, who are in marriages, and who be in people inboxes cheating, wanting cheat, trying to set up cheating, trying to cheat.
What I would like is public service announcement. Get your husband out the club. Hello, ladies.
Why are they still
Make
in?
them go home. Girl, listen. They be the main ones in the bar. I'm like, I don't even want to go to the bar no more. Sick of people, husbands in there. And I was just like, you're right. They'll sit up here, pick this homely woman who done popped out I don't know how many kids for them. No offense to people who having children. I'm just saying. And then she don't want to go nowhere. She going to church every day, cooking meals, and got all the kids, and she in bed by 10 o'clock. And but he talking about he working late. But really, he would miss Turn Up Queen, who be all out. People think they go together because you always in the house. So he outside with this other girl, and everybody think they the couple, and don't nobody even know what you look like because you in the house cooking and in the bed at
She
10
know what
o'clock.
they be knowing what they be doing. And then, you know what? When it comes to wives, and I've never been married, I seen a post recently, and I was just like, on a post like, what if you don't want to freaking be? I never wanted to be married. Like, yes, having a wedding, I guess the aesthetic, like the whole event, the event would be nice. And I think little girls, they fall in love with
Yeah.
the event of it. Having the dress, the long white flowy, and people watching y'all do y'all dance like in The Little Mermaid and your belle at the ball, and that's so beautiful. It's so nice. But I just never desired that for myself. I never wanted to be married. Like, I don't think I'm broken because I'm a woman who says, like, listen, I have no desire to be married what's so freaking ever. But what I will say, what I noticed from the outside looking in at wives is that, first of all, a lot of them are just miserable. Okay. I don't know who they be trying to convince, but they be, I don't know, they be bugging. These wives be tripping. And I don't want to, don't get mad at me, okay? I'm just saying from observation of the wives that I see on social media and things like that, or people that I know. Like, y'all have to take a certain level of accountability and responsibility when it comes to your husbands out in these streets. Like, y'all can't keep on continuing to blame the female or the other woman in the situation. Your husband has a wandering eye. You know that pastor that done cheated on his wife like 50, 11,000 times, and she keep on blaming the devil. The devil. Like, it was the devil. Like, no, child.
The Jezebel
That
demon.
Jezebel done tricked my, it was him. He knew what he was
It
doing.
was him.
It was him the whole time. Like, you have to hold yourself accountable for the fact that you're choosing to stay with that cheating husband that you have, that he is disrespecting y'all's vows, not her. He. And you can't blame her. And it's like they don't be wanting to take responsibility. Even girlfriends though too, especially in long-term situations. They don't be wanting to take some of the responsibility for the fact that you're choosing to stay with this man. That has nothing to do with her. You need to account for the fact that why is you staying? Why?
Right.
He's still coming
Right.
home to me at night, like the guy said. He's still gonna come to home. I don't know why. Yeah, he's still coming home to me at night. Y'all looking stupid. Y'all all looking stupid
Everybody.
because you the one staying. She might be over there accepting a piece of a man because, truth be told, probably being a side chick is lit because she still got her piece at night. he going, like you
Woo!
said, he going home to you, and you got to deal with the headache. She get the good times. You got to deal with the headache. So I mean, but either way, y'all both looking foolish.
Mm-hmm.
You
At
don't
the
got
end
to
of the
one
day.
up on the side piece. You really truly don't.
It's so unfortunate. Ooh, I bet you pissing a lot of people off right now if they was watching this or watch it back. But we got to be honest. Like, you know, when a man starts engaging with the side piece action, these men out here, they will treat the side piece like liquid gold. And
Mm-mm-mm.
at home, the wife can't even get a conversation. She mad. Where you going in? He's so annoyed. I've been in that situation. I've been married before, and I had that situation. And it's like, and I've seen it so many times. Eventually, I would think if it drags on and on, they both end up lacking, right? They both end up lacking because it's hard to maintain
Mm-hmm.
more than one person because you could have a whole lot of money, right? And you could give everybody money and everything. But what the problem is that I hear from anybody who has been out here cheating, especially men, is the time.
Mm.
The time. You can't give your time equally to more than one person. Somebody's going to get neglected in the situation, and then that's when it goes left for both people and all parties involved. And I just think that I wish that it was more people who would live in their truth and stop sitting up here living a lie and people enabling them to live the lie. But I just feel like if you choose to stay in a relationship where, like, the person is cheating on you, then what are you mad for?
Let that man cheat in peace. I forgot who said that. That was let him cheat in peace because you know darn well you ain't going
You
nowhere.
ain't going nowhere. You're not going
Oh,
nowhere. So why are you making yourself miserable?
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think you know what, like you said, some of them just be sitting there, like they at that point where they just gonna let him do his thing in peace. They
Mhm.
just ain't even gonna bother saying nothing, stressing their own selves out. And if that's your comfort level, you comfortable, you done accepted the fact that John is down the street, with Mary, then hey.
But the topic of this podcast was don't be afraid to leave him.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that um I just feel like you just accepting less in that situation. But hey, if you cool with a piece of man too, or maybe you sick of him, and you're not involved, you're not interested because I sometimes I look at some situations that I know, and I guess I will never understand.
Right.
I will never understand. But I suppose that the person has to have some type of common sense and know that their person is not being true. But maybe that's not a deal breaker for everybody. Clearly, it isn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like it
Um,
has to be something that they're getting out of it. So, but like you said, I still look at it the same way you look at it. Like you deserve more than that. Like we all deserve. Like if we're talking about, we already know that humans are made and meant to connect and be coupled and find your tribe, as they say. Even if it's your tribe is just on a friendship level, we're all meant to connect with each other. That's why connections and relationships are so important to us. Like we hold them to like this great importance because it is important to build connections and relationships. But I mean, don't you feel like you deserve more? Like I want y'all to have these healthy, loving experiences. And if you can't have that with somebody, like she said, don't be afraid to lose him or let them go and move on.
um, I would say that when I thought about this topic and discussing this, I felt that, this was something that it's very hard to do. Excuse me, it's my allergies, you guys. But it's very hard to do, especially when you like somebody. And sometimes you got to look back at yourself and be like, why do I even like this person? Like, I mean, I know you have people. He's like, why do I like this person? Like, really? Like, what is it? And they probably even asking the same question, like, why do you even like me? Like, and it's really no explanation for why you willing to overlook all the blaring red flags in your face for this particular person, right? I don't know if the endorphins or whatever the hormone was just a little bit stronger with this person, because some of these people you just really shouldn't even like, right? But you do. And so because of that, you keep trying to give them chance after chance to make it right, make amends, become somebody who is of value to you and you to them, but they just refuse to fall in line with whatever you're requiring. And I'm saying within reason, not the crazy stuff, but I'm gonna just use a very basic thing, which usually becomes the problem. Why people want to put a title on this shit. They want you to be exclusive to them. That's
Mm-hmm.
usually what happens. At some point, you start catching feelings. You like this person. You don't want to share them with someone else. You want some type of validation within that person's life that you are their person. And that's usually what makes the relationship go left or not. That's when you really see who you're dealing with a lot of the time, too.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they don't want to do that, then you really need to leave that person, because if that's what you want, you're not going to get it. And that really hurts when you find yourself in those dead end situations. So I think that when I thought about this topic, and I thought about, and I've looked at different podcasts, from guys or whoever talking about dating advice, this was something that was very, very, very interesting to me and personal to me, because I was like, why is it that we always sit up here and lower our standards and become unhappy? I was in a marriage for a long time that I was extremely unhappy in. And I will not, if I can help it and consciously have a say and willpower, will not find myself in another situation. Like, some of my deal breakers are, yes, I do want exclusivity with someone. Yes, I do, because there's too many things going on in this world right now. Yes, I would want somebody who wants to travel. I'm not about to sit in the house with you every day. Like, I don't want to do that. There's like some basic things. Of course, you have children, you want them to mesh well with your family. I need somebody family oriented. I need somebody who want to entertain. Like, actually, me and I talked about this. I was like, I just need an extrovert. Because if an extrovert was extroverted with me and then we sit down and rest sometime, then that would be perfect for me. It's hard when you want to be out or you want to do things and you got somebody sitting back there like, and I'm not knocking the introverts, because a lot of opposites attract, and that's what people need. But for me now, going in the future, me as this person, I want somebody along fully for the ride. you know and I don't want to, and of course I enjoy my friends, my homegirls and family members, and I still would like that time and give them that time. But I just think that whatever your standards are, whatever you're looking for in a person, don't lower your standards or boundaries thinking that you won't find anybody else, or that you want to that you're scared to start over, because it's somebody for everybody. And sometimes it's good to be alone, to self-reflect, to understand who you are, what you like, and stop listening to everybody else's advice about your life.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, everything that you said, like that is the truth. That is definitely dead on the money. Um, and we just are here to reiterate to us and to, Black women, and to instill healthier habits and give you something to think about when you leave the podcast. Just for us to collectively do better, as women, because we are out here, we are tired and exhausted of dealing with the same things and the same situations over and over again. I'm tired of seeing stuff on repeat on my darn timeline from multiple different people. And it's like, dang, why aren't we getting it? Why are we going through the same thing over and over again? And I feel like I said, we're not having these discussions with one another or amongst one another because you would have to be vulnerable enough to have it. But yeah, when it definitely comes to relationships, don't be afraid to walk away. It's gonna hurt. It's like ripping off a band-aid. At first it's gonna sting, it's gonna hurt. Then after a while it's gonna get better and it's gonna heal. That's how I see it. But yes, it's going to be something different. It's going to hurt. You're gonna feel a way about it. And also, it's for your own mental health and well-being, because when I see women in these situationships or dealing with people and they just, they going through it, it's like a little of you, and I've been there before, like pieces of you start to chip away, and it's just like, because it affects your energy. Your house is full of negative energy. Your aura is just, you need to sage everything. You need to sage yourself. Like it's just all of that negative energy starts piling up and piling up and piling up. And you can just see the unhappiness. Sometimes you can look somebody in the face or see it in their eyes, or they not smiling no more like they used to. It's like that person is starting to affect you. They're no good. You have to choose life over them. And life is choosing yourself. Like, I am never going to be afraid to lose somebody that is not to the betterment of myself. That is why I practice selfishness. That is why I tell people it's not a bad thing to be selfish in certain situations and scenarios, because you have to think of yourself first. Period.
Right.
Before you can water anybody else, before you can fill anybody else's cup, yours have to be full and plentiful. You can't pour nothing like, as they say, from an empty cup. And I feel like we say these sayings, but then we don't follow the dang sayings that we said. You can't pour from an empty cup. That I wholeheartedly believe that one. You can't water somebody else. You can't call yourself, I'm gonna be there for everybody, but then you're never there. You never show up for yourself.
Mm.
I can
Mm-hmm.
give you see the dopest advice. I can give so and so all of this great just like a therapist, really. I can give y'all all this great advice, but I'm not taking my own into account. I'm
Mm.
sitting over here unhappy and I know the reason why, but I'm not doing anything to correct it and fix it. It takes a bold person. You have to have a lot of strength and a lot of courage and a lot of fight in you to want to change things, especially when it comes to a relationship. Because, yes, especially, and this is not just talking about somebody you meet, but when it comes to those relationships that really have a hold on you, yes, it's hard to leave those, because it's like you've been existing in it for so long, and you're just so terrified and scared of what's on the other side that gets you and prevents you from ever making the jump. You got to make that jump and that leap, because it always get greater later.
Mm. Yes. And I'm going to say that to the women out there who not having no standards, just going for anything, just letting these men tell you whatever,
Mm,
just taking a blind eye to everything, chasing men. Like, come on. Come on, sis. You're making it harder for all of us. We can't blame the men for everything.
right.
Some of us is messing it up for others. Period.
That's that bar that's in the dirt. That's under the ground. It's underground. It's buried. We done buried
Ugh.
the bar. Okay. They don't have to do anything these days. And like he said, like this guy be saying, like, y'all set the bar. Why y'all need to talk to yourselves. And so that's all we doing. Like we have set the expectations. So when you have some of us over here just allowing and accepting anything, and then you have the few of us over on the other side that's like, oh, wait a minute, you can't come over here and do that stuff over here. And then they look at you like,
Mm.
what? Okay,
Like
well,
what? You too hard. You too hard.
let me go walk over and back over here. That's what they do. It's a mess. So yeah, I mean, we got to get on one collective page as a sisterhood. We have to collectively get on the same page so that we can start to see the bar get raised a little bit higher than where it's at right now.
But my thing is, even if we don't get on the same page, which is fire and fetch, right? We want that, right? But if you holding your standards, then he go over to Miss Easy and tell you he with Miss Easy. Let Miss Easy have him and let him go. Cause
Right?
he
Don't
wasn't the one. He wasn't the one. He was too weak. He needed Miss Easy.
And that's what got them spoiled now. Like men are, especially black men in our community, like they are spoiled. And they know. Like I said, they know these things. They know that they can get females to compete. They know that they can get females to fight over them because what they say it's like five of us to one of them. So they know, like, listen, if you ain't gonna do it, and some of them will be bold enough to say that.
Mhm.
Well, I'll just go over here. If you okay, you not cool. Well, okay, whatever. Some of them is like that. They will tell you to your face that they will go over to Keisha. If you ain't with it, then she gonna be with it for sure. So
Right.
they know that they can get women to compete over them, fight over them, and they encourage that. But
And
it's
then
also
some
us to not play into it.
And then sometimes you'll sit up there and have your standards like, okay, well, we're not doing this anymore. I want a relationship. I want to be with you. And you know what? Next time you come over, we're not having sex anymore. We're going to set it up right. I need you to do A, B, and C for me because this is what I want. Then you don't hear from him for I don't know how long. Then they say, here he come back around because he know you a quality woman now. He knew
Mm-hmm.
that. He knew that. Come back around just to play again might, like I said, let you know. If you ask, probably ain't gonna just tell you now. But if you the one you want to know, some of them will let you know. Oh, what you been doing? Being blah blah blah. Oh, I had somebody else or this or that. Now they be wanting you to say, "Oh, ain't you had who? Oh no, that you're my man. She ain't about to have you," and blah blah blah, and start this toxic dynamic where
Mm-hmm.
now you dealing with him talking to whoever this is on the phone. It's ringing here. You ain't got no. Listen, sis, Convo Queens, you ain't got no control over that because people are grown, and that's women who still out here trying to control and manipulate a situation with a man who wants to be with other women. You will lose every time
Mm-hmm. So,
because we are grown.
and
Okay.
they always walk away scot free too. That's the whole thing about it. Like they put you in competition. I did that before, especially I have a baby father, I have kids, and they are especially they the ones. They are the ones. They will put you in competition with the other girl all the time. And I used to always fall for that. Like you want to be the one, and it's like I said. I think I said this before. It's like it's not. It becomes to where it's not even about him per se. You want to win the competition against her at all costs so you can walk away with the prize, which is who? The penis person. Listen,
So,
we got to start saying, you know what? I do you one better. Let me call her up. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, girl, let's talk. Let's get together so that we can get together on this person. We
and
need
my
to
thing
start
is,
becoming more
you may not
sisterhood with
have,
each other.
yeah, but you may not even have her phone number. And so he telling you this, but guess what? Instead of being like, you my man, and who is that? And let me see your phone. This what you should do. Okay. Oh, okay. She must be better than me then, because I ain't with it. Deuces.
Right.
That's what you should be doing.
I don't
And
mess with
let him see a good thing go. Do not sit up there and be competing with no other women over somebody who ain't even valuing you in the first daggone place.
mm-hmm.
We need to stop doing that. But yes, like I said, if you do know the chick, you do got access. See, the problem with that has always been you just don't know the reaction of the other female. Is she gonna be a enlightened female that knows that neither one of you owe any loyalty to the other? Your beef is with the man. Ah, do women know that
Right.
yet?
Right. It is your issue is always going to be with that person that you are involved with because that's the person that's responsible, not the other person.
Yeah.
How can somebody else be responsible for your relationship and what y'all got going on? The
Mm-hmm.
person that owe you an explanation that should be held accountable and responsible is always going to be the person that you involve with.
Especially in a marriage, if you find out somebody's cheating, um, your beef is never with the side chick. Your beef is with your husband, because that's the person who pledged loyalty to you, or your boyfriend loyalty. That other person don't got no loyalty to you. But that's why we talking about having this conversation, because the thing is, you know, I know that some of us women do some shady stuff, like, too. Like, we are not innocent. And that's why me and I are trying to point out the fact that, yes, in these situations, it could be the man that's playing games and playing around. But though the women that they're doing it with are contributing to the problem, right? We don't have a girl. What is the girl code these days? Like, you hear so much crazy stuff that happens.
Ain't no girl code.
Ain't no girl. What is it? Yeah, ain't no girl code. I don't think. Like, yeah, it used to be, oh, that's your homegirl. Don't talk to the same dude she talked to. Oh, that's her man. But you hear crazy stories all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think sometimes you just have to, even if you don't care about the other woman, just care about yourself. Like, low self esteem is real. And, a lot of people struggle with that at some point in their life, or still do in some situation. Because everybody, I don't care, the finest person in the world got an insecurity about something, most
Yeah.
flawless person. So I just think that, we definitely need to do better amongst each other as Black women and women collectively, because we can't sit up here and blame everything on the man. Because if he had all of us women like, no, you gonna treat us right, we need you to do this, that, and the third, then there wouldn't be this problem of, you too hard and you require too much. So let me go over to Miss Easy right here, because she ain't gonna ask me no questions.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So hey, if they want some easy old person who don't ask no questions, and you that chick, and you okay with that, carry on. But I'm just gonna say, you still part of the problem.
Yeah, that's definitely you are. You're part of the problem.
I'm a difficult woman. I would be one of them. They be like, "Oh, you hard." Yeah, because I know myself. First of all,
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't sit up here. I know some women can do it, but I personally can't just be sitting up here being intimate with somebody, and it just, like, it means nothing. Like, I'm not that type of person. I know people do it, women do it too. Men always say, like, a lot of them say they do that, but like, some women can do that. But for me, I don't even find intimacy to be fulfilling without the emotional part of it. But I am a Cancer, as I always say every time. So, like, to me, that's not fulfilling. Like, I'll pass.
Right. Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. Same. And or how can y'all be intimate? Like I couldn't. Like I can't be intimate with somebody that I'm not happy with. Like we could be in a relationship, and like if I'm having a problem with you, I'm having a problem with you. Like, that's one of the, well, guys say, yeah, that's one of the key indicators she fed up with your ish. Because some of us, like, I can't play that off. I don't want you touching me. I don't really want you next to me. I don't want you near me. Like, I don't care. I start to just give less and less of a F. And so, like, being trapped up in a situation like that where y'all both don't care no more and y'all just around the house, like, gaslighting each other, being toxic,
Hmm.
yelling and arguing, like, no, I can't do that. I
I
don't,
don't want
I'm
to do it.
it's like, yeah, I'm not doing all that anymore. That is the point where it's my time to bow out once it hits that level, or even before then, when before you know it's gonna get to that level. It's like certain things, like you said, when you get older, you start tolerating. Your patience is a lot less, and I also think because you still got some people older and never gonna get it, so that also comes with the self awareness that y'all have to do. Y'all have to self reflect and have that level of self awareness and know it all to even start to implement these changes. But once you have that, like you said, once you become a lot older, you start to tolerate a little less. And like you being a part of my situation or life is neither here nor there. Like it's okay. Like I will just go and child. Nobody got time. Who got time for that? Like you said, my peace at this point is of utmost. Like it's my top priority. So if you're going
Top.
to disturb that, then you're not gonna make it. Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is about them late 30s or something. Hitting 40. I don't know about everybody, but for me, if you deserving my peace, you got to go.
Mm-hmm.
I am so peaceful when I don't have nobody I'm waiting on or expecting to do something that they ain't gonna do. Like, I mean, I'm sorry. Like, for me, inconsistency is a pet peeve. And if you are that type of person, you're gonna destroy my peace. So like I'd rather not even be bothered.
I can't even imagine like when I think back of like going through my 20s and stuff and dating and being with shit, like how stressful and that was like always dealing it was always something, you know,
Mhm.
when you think about it, it's like all the stuff that these people that took you like, oh my God, it used to be so you know, the level of stress and anxiety somebody used to take you through. Being on that roller coaster ride, arguing, like, oh I couldn't imagine. No, it's these days. You can't take me through. Ain't no amount of money you can pay me to go through that amount of stuff. Like we used to be young and stressed, and I think it's that should be the opposite. Like you shouldn't be young. Like you too. You should not be young and stressed.
Shoot, and
So
you too
speedy,
old to be
breezy,
sitting there still
period.
dealing with that type of stress. Because my thing is like at this point, if you find yourself single, in your older years or whatever, like you should collectively self-reflect on the things that made you unhappy in your previous situations and try to do a little bit better, or at least try to recognize, things in people that would be problematic.
That part, yeah, exactly, yeah, definitely. You should be able
But
to see the red flags.
I'm just tired of us making excuses like, oh, well, it was so great in the beginning. We already know, and then we get caught up on chasing the representative. That's not
Mm-hmm.
even him, girl. That's not even him.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever that was, that's not even him, and you still trying to chase and get him back. The one that you got right now, that's who he is. And so once I realized that, I have realized that, oh, it's so peaceful to just be by, to love on yourself when you don't have anybody who truly appreciates or loves you. Those people who breadcrumb you, the people who lie to you, the people who are inconsistent, the people who are not fulfilling your needs, don't give them that much energy. Stop. Let them go and let it burn for a minute. Let your heart hurt. But I promise you, what was that? And because we probably getting close to the takeaway now. I'm gonna read it again. Just because you miss someone doesn't mean you need them back in your life. Missing is just part of moving on. By Macklemore.
Mm-hmm.
Takeaway time, girl. You go first.
So yeah, I mean, I think I already gave my takeaway. My stance is, and I know like people probably think I'm hard or you know she is so cynical or she like whatever. But what I'm going to tell y'all is always think of yourself first. Like it's not that serious. You could find another one. You're going to get another one. Like don't let people have you under the guise or let yourself psych yourself out that you're not worthy. You're never gonna find anybody. I'm not deserving of love. I'm not deserving of happiness. Oh, I have 50 kids. Who's going to want me? You know, they tell us, especially the penis people, they will put so much out there into the universe, into the air that, oh, we don't want this. We don't want that. Who going to want this? You washed up after 35. Child, who? Who? I'm 39. I'm 39 years old. Who is washed up? Who? Because I could go, trust me, I will go down the street and get another one. Like, don't be so desperate for love that you will hold on to, overstay, or either accept something that is beneath you. And when I say beneath, I mean beneath your standards, beneath the basic human decencies to that you're going to treat somebody, beneath not being stressed out, beneath not feeling like you're loved and respected by someone, because those are basic needs and things that we all should be able to obtain. It's within your reach to have somebody who loves you, who respects you, who honors you, who makes you smile, who is going to fulfill you in a way that that person that you're sitting idly by accepting or tolerating is no longer doing. If someone is no longer serving you, then you need to let them go. And it's no knock towards you or who you are as a woman. You are still wanted and desired by many, and you're going to get another one if that's what you choose. Self love is the best love, but yeah, let him go, girl, and be happy.
Hmm. Okay, so my takeaway from today is that have your standards and your boundaries and stick to them. If you make a mistake and somebody breaches them, it's okay. Go back to them and stay true to yourself. You know, too many people will fall for anything, but that does not have to be you. It don't have to be me. I have certain, especially when you have been through some things, do not accept certain things just to have someone where you find yourself back in the same type of situation. Stick to your guns and stick to what you want and tell that person if they're not going to meet those, they can kick rocks. Straight like that. Because life is too short and you deserve to be happy and fulfilled. And you cannot look for your happiness and fulfillment in another person. However, I heard a saying that you should, even if something don't works out, you or that other person should always leave each other better than how you found the person. If somebody is leaving you worse off than how they found you, they were never good for you from the very beginning. Because there's a lot of people who can respectfully not play games with you. Sometimes realize this: rejection is protection.
Mm-hmm.
It is not meant for you to be with somebody. Don't look at rejection as, oh, something's wrong with me and, oh, what can I do better? What can they do better? What is wrong with them? Because that's usually what the a lot of times what the issue is. It's not always you when someone rejects you. And clearly that person wasn't meant for you. They're not for you. And don't force it. Let it go. You will meet someone else. Someone will find you if it is meant for you. If not, then you will, whatever's meant for you will never pass you by. I truly believe that. And I think that us women, we also need to understand that you are not the chosen one because you put up with more stuff than she did. So you won some prize. You didn't win some prize. You just ended up with some sloppy second passed around stuff. Like, and what are you gloating about? I never understood the type of female that gloated about winning a man who's disrespecting her. We have to have more self love and confidence within ourselves to realize that when we set certain standards and boundaries, it is for the greater good of us, our children, and our lives collectively as a whole. And at the end of the day, you will be better off and more happier if you didn't breach your boundaries or standards, because what ends up happening when you do is that you start living in a lot of regret, especially if the relationship goes left. So I encourage you all to take everything we said with a grain of salt, but actually think about it and do some self-reflection. Because I do self-reflection all the time. I do self-reflection all the time, and we talk about each other. We've known each other since we've been kids. Good, bad, ugly, and different through all types of mess. So we wouldn't sit up on this platform and talk to you if we didn't live it and know it and see it and believe in it. And I believe that these are definitely our opinions. However, we want to encourage you all to take a deeper look into it and see. Everybody else, I would never tell you to leave him. Well, we're going to tell you. Don't be afraid to leave him if you're not being treated right. That part. I'm done.
Oh, yes. All right, you guys, that was a good one. As always, make sure you like, hit the bell so that you will be alerted when we go live, and subscribe to the channel and follow us over on Convos for Black Women on Facebook, okay?
Yes.
Because we are over there. And next time we go live, we will be also live on Facebook as well. But as always, it's been a real conversation, and we are out.
We love y'all. Bye, Convo Queen.